Are the wires hanging down behind your TV driving you a little bit crazy? Keep watching and I'll walk you through an easy process that you can use to hide them behind your wall, giving you the cleanest look you can possibly have. Let's get right to it. Now before we do anything, we have to make sure we're not going to hit any studs, pipes, or wires, so get your stud finder out, do a quick check. I've got some wires, I'm going to have to be careful with this one. Now to make this look nice and neat, I use these Leviton wall brackets. They're actually made to mount faceplates too, and they're for low voltage. You're not gonna run any electrical through these. The nice part is they have these ears on the back that bend up and down, so you can wrap them around the back of the drywall. But also, I really like it because I use these wall plates. Now they have this mesh in the middle here so that you can run your cables through. Gives a really clean look, and I put this at the top and down on the floor at the bottom. Take that wall mounting bracket and bend the ears out a little bit so that you can just get to the interior. What I do is I place it up on the wall, so get it kind of in the spot where you want it to be, or exactly, not kind of, I don't know why I said that. And then take your pencil and you trace around the edge. When you do that, you get just a nice little square on the wall that you're going to cut out. There is a bevel, just a little edge here, that will go inside the drywall. When you do that tracing, you're basically making the frame for where that edge is going to go. Now grab your drywall saw and easily work it into the drywall so that you can start to make your cut. Cut just outside of the line that you made because that bracket's a little wider than what we just traced, and go all the way around each of the edges. Just be careful if there's anything behind the wall. I have some wires back here, so I'm trying to be gentle as I do this. And once you're done, go ahead and pull the square, or the rectangle I should say, out of the wall. Take your wall bracket and insert it into the wall. Make sure it's nice and firm. Now take your finger and push the bottom rabbit ear down and the top rabbit ear up. Now we just need to repeat this process at the bottom of the wall so that we can fish our wires from top to bottom. Trace it out again, cut your hole out again, make sure you get it nice and clean. Then pull that rectangle out, and you notice that I found a little bit of coax back here, so I'm glad I was taking my time. But now we just take our wall bracket and get it in place like we did at the top. And now for the hardest part. We're gonna take our fish line and run it behind the wall so that we can pull our cables up. Now normally, I would try and push my cables down, but given my current situation where I have a little bit of coax that's behind that spray foam insulation, I'm gonna go up with it, or come down with the fish line so I can go up with the wires just to make my life a little bit easier. But the fish line, basically, you just unwind it like a roll of tape, and it goes right back in when you're done. Now running this fish line behind the wall is not always super easy, especially when you have spray foam insulation behind it like I do. If it's just drywall with nothing behind, it's really not a big problem at all. But if you run into any fire blocking or anything else like that, it can be a real pain in the butt. Just be patient. Once you get it to the bottom, fish it out of there with your fingers, no pun intended, and pull that baby out. Grab yourself some duct tape, rip a piece off, and you want to wrap this around the cable that you're running behind the wall and the fish line. There's a hook on the end of the fish line that tape can go under to make sure that it holds it nice and tight. Shove it up inside the wall and pull it on through. Once you get it out of the top, take that tape off and leave the line hanging there. Now hopefully you only have to do this once. I had to do it twice, so I ran the fish line back down, connected the cable, shoved it in the wall, pulled it up through, and pulled it out. Same thing, I just leave that second one hanging there ready for the next step. Now if you have the fish line and you're using that to wrap it back up, you just take that plastic tab on top and roll it around till it's done. I like to use these plates that have the mesh in them. They're actually a two-piece plate that come with these long screws and some short screws. You take the two cables that you've run through the wall, or one or three, however many it is, fish it through the middle of the mesh, put it right up against the wall, and screw the long screws into the faceplate. You want to get this in because this is what holds it structurally to that bracket that you just put inside of the wall. Once that is done, grab the small white screws and screw those into the actual plastic faceplate, and they go into the top holes of that insert that you just put inside of that wall bracket. This same exact process needs to be repeated at the bottom of the wall as well. So get the mesh set up, get it onto the wall, get your plastic plate threaded through the cables, get your screws in, and you are ready to roll. Now, when you are done, you should have a nice clean look like this at the bottom of the wall, and at the top of the wall, nice and neat like this as well. Hey, don't forget to put your TV and your TV stand back in place. That's important. And then you can enjoy the lack of wires. Ah. Until the next time, keep doing it yourself.